and she'll be leading us today. Her journey to healing through yoga began in the fall of 2016. What started as an at home hobby on YouTube grew into a journey of self. In 2019, Dria got her 200-hour training surrounded by people that looked like her, which was a life changing experience and liberating experience. And I had the honor of receiving my certification alongside Dria in that program. Since training, her focus has been honing her skills through personal practice and additional certifications such as prenatal yoga and more. She's quoted to say, through yoga, I really got a chance to take a good look in the mirror at all of who I am. So today she'll be guiding us through a slow vinyasa style flow that will feel like a beautiful dance with ourselves. It'll cater to the root and sacral chakras of grounding and creativity, and we will explore different poses that will help to maintain balance within these chakras, and we'll end with a meditation. Dria, we are honored to have you. You can take it from here.
Yes, thank you. That sounded so great. I was like, ooh. Anyways, okay. Yeah, so like she said, we will be doing a root and sacral chakra inspired flow. Um, just because, you know, a lot of the times they are blocked and we don't even know it. And with traumas, those are like the first things to go. Because root, you know, keeps us grounded, keeps us balanced, allows us to grow. And our sacral is our creativity, it's our passion, our drive. And with so many things, like when things happen to us, we kind of become numb. Um, which means our creativity can fall, our passion can fall for things, and we just kind of get stuck in this rut. So I would like to bring a flow to help you. You maybe can take it and keep doing it at home, or just maybe you get interested and look more into the chakras. So, with that being said, we are going to begin lying on our backs and just take up space. Maybe your arms are wide and your legs are kind of open a bit. Just allow yourself to just be like, hey, I'm here. And once you get to your comfortable seat or comfortable reclined position, go ahead and just focus on your breath today. And acknowledge how you're feeling right here in this very moment. How is your breathing sound? How does it feel throughout your body? Your body is the vehicle in which you take the journey through life, and it's also the physical aspect of your temple. And like any other vehicle, you have to climb inside first before you can truly take that journey. So let's delve inside ourselves today by starting with a deep, mindful breath from here on out. Deep inhale through your nose while your belly is filling up with breath. Exhaling out. Continuing to breathe. From here, begin to imagine the color red, like a crimson red. Just imagine it. Now imagine that color moving through your body as you inhale and exhale. And as you inhale into your belly, take your next exhale and send that breath to the base of your torso. And imagine that color red just kind of sitting there, beaming. Maybe it feels different. Maybe it just, what does it color red feel like when you think of it? Just take note of that. Allowing that breath to go with the color red, and it's moving throughout your body as you take your deep inhales and your exhales. And we're going to go ahead and go into a body scan meditation. So as you breathe, you're going to start with your feet and release any lingering tension to further ground yourself with each exhale. So sending breath to your feet. Exhale, release maybe the smallest amount of tension that you may have. Letting your feet fall out to the sides. Your legs melt a little deeper into the mat. Moving all the way up through your body, out into the extensions of your arms, to your fingertips, and up to the crown of your head. Sometimes we like to let our thoughts take us wherever. But in yoga, the time is only for you being with yourself. So if you find yourself maybe wandering off, a thought or two passes by, I give you the option to say, I am here and I am now. As you are fully grounded into your mat, hopefully you've reached every part of your body, removing the tension. Just know that your root chakra helps you to not only remain grounded, but it is also the foundation so that you may elevate and maintain your other chakras. So we're going to begin something that is called pelvic tilts. So go ahead and take your feet onto the mat so that it's flat on the ground. Sliding your feet up towards your butt. So with each movement that we do here, you're never going to lift your hips off of the mat. As you inhale, you're going to bring a curve to your spine, bringing your belly up towards the ceiling, tilting your tailbone down towards the mat. So you're kind of just sending an arch in your back with a deep inhale. Exhale, push that lower back down towards the mat. Pushing into the mat with the bottoms of your feet, keeping your hips on the ground. Inhale deeply as you curve your spine again, sending your belly up towards the ceiling, tilting the tailbone down. Exhale, bringing the lower back towards the mat, pushing the bottoms of your feet into the mat. Maybe your tailbone naturally starts to curve up. Keep going with this movement, allowing only your breath to guide you. Let your breath tell you when to move. All right. And from here, you can let that go whenever you're ready. Taking another full deep breath. Don't be afraid to make your breath audible. You exhale, maybe you just take deep exhales. Just let it out, however your breath guides you today. Begin shaking your head left to right. Take slow movements, rolling your shoulders in circles. Extending your arms out nice and wide if they're not already. Wiggling your fingers. Again, wiggling your toes. Raise your feet off of the mat so they are just kind of dangling in the air. Slowly waking our body back up so that we can prepare for our next portion. Taking your knees into your arms, hugging your knees in closer to your chest. I'm going to release your right leg down to the mat as you continue to hug in your left knee towards your chest. We're going to use our breath to remove the tension we may feel through each of our poses. So ask yourself, where is the tension that you feel when that right leg is trying to come down to the mat? Maybe you feel it in your hips. Send a deep breath wherever your tension lies. And as you exhale, allow gravity to take hold and try to release that tension. Bringing your right knee back into your arms, extending your left leg now down into the mat. Notice where any tension may feel in your body from this pose. Sending your breath there, using your exhale to allow the tension to slowly be at ease. From here, go ahead and bring both of your knees back into your arms, taking your hands to the tops of your knees and begin to make circles with your knees. You're going to feel a stretch in that or a massage in that lower back as your knees are going in circles. Begin to go in circles the other direction. Sending your feet straight up towards the ceiling, extending your legs, and then allowing your legs to come down to the mat slowly, using a little bit of that core power. And then you're going to turn onto your bellies and push yourself up onto your hands and knees, but you're going to keep sending your butt down towards the heels of your feet, extending your knees out nice and wide, extending your arms forward, melting your forehead down in child's pose. From child's pose, you're going to bring your belly back down to the mat. So sending your body forward, lowering your body down onto the mat. And you're going to take your hands, making sure that they are right underneath your shoulders, pushing yourself up so that your chest is up. You're inviting a back bend into cobra pose. Maybe you're looking up towards the ceiling. And you're going to push yourself back up, come back to child's pose, extending your knees out wide, coming back towards the heels of your feet. And with your breath, slowly moving your way back down to the mat, finding yourself in cobra pose. And then make one last trip into child's pose. Bringing yourself back up onto your hands and your knees. We are in tabletop. And then you're going to go ahead and just sit your butt back towards the heels of your feet and swing your legs around to the front of you. So if you have any blocks, I should have said this earlier, I encourage you to just keep them nearby because props are our friend. So from here, you're going to keep your legs crossed and you're going to start with your right foot and place your right foot on top of that left knee. So wherever you are today, maybe your knee comes straight down to the floor. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe your knee kind of comes up a little bit and there's a little bit of a gap between your knee and your foot. That's what your block is for. Or I also offer the option to send that block right in front of that left knee, and you can place that right foot on top as well. So may the choice be yours. You listen to your body, and only you know what's best for you. So if this is enough of a stretch for you, you know how to stay right here, or you can go ahead and take your hands in front of your legs. Slowly begin to walk your torso, hovering it over your legs. Maybe you end up in a full fold over your legs, or maybe you're just kind of reaching towards your legs. Make sure you never overcompensate with your back. So you should never be kind of giving that humpback, curling your spine. You want to keep it as straight, as flat as possible as you're folding. So the minute you feel your back start to curve, that's where you need to stop. Keeping your back nice and flat. Remember to send maybe a little extra love to the places that may be feeling a little bit tight this morning. So maybe if you're folding over your legs, you're feeling the tenseness in that hip, sending some breath there, releasing, easing that tension away. Wherever you are, if you are folded, walking your hands up back towards your legs, or if you're sitting up tall still, just go ahead and uncross your legs and prepare for the other side. So you're going to take that left foot on top of your right knee and make sure your left knee is right under that right foot. So again, you can kind of put your block as a little space filler in between that knee and foot, or place that block in front of your right knee, foot goes on top of it. And you also have the option to fold over your legs. All right, and from here, wherever you are, walking your hands up, unfolding your legs, you're gonna swing your legs behind you again. So we're back in tabletop. Hands and knees. Your knees are in line with your hips. Your hands are always aligned with your shoulders. Go ahead and tuck your toes, and you're going to press your toes into the mat, pressing your hands into the mat. So you're pressing it in so much so that you feel like you're almost hovering over the mat, but you're not. So really start to engage those muscles and begin to slowly lift the knees off of the mat, very slowly engaging your core. You're going to begin to push your hips up, and you're going to go ahead and send them back. The heels of your feet are reaching towards the mat. The goal is not for them to touch, but for you to feel a stretch in those back leg muscles. So your hamstring, your calves, as long as you're feeling an extension there, you're doing just fine. And as far as your hands, you never want to put too much pressure on the heels of your hands. So pressing into all 10 fingers and allowing your head to hang right in between those arms, just chilling. Go ahead and take that right foot and guide it right in between those hands, however you need it to get there. Maybe you step it up or you kind of ease it up there. You're going to follow with your left foot. You're now in forward fold. So again, maybe this is where your block comes in. Maybe that block is bringing the ground up closer to you. Options for your block, if you have one, use the different height settings for whatever you need today. All right. So you're going to remove that block if you had one. Bend your knees all the way until you can place your hands onto the mat. Stepping that right foot, right leg all the way back so that you are into a lunge now. You're going to lower that back knee onto the mat and you are going to come into a half split. So you're going to extend that front leg, sending your hips to stack them over that back knee. And again, making sure to keep your back as flat as possible, avoiding curving your back as you fold over that front leg. I invite subtle movements with your poses as well. So if you kind of feel like rocking back and forth a little bit, this personally helps me to ease more into a pose. So if that fits your practice today, by all means, add your movements. Go ahead and begin to bring a bend back into that front leg. If you need a little cushion for your back knee, you can fold the back of your mat up until it reaches your knee, just for a little bit more cushion for what we're about to do next. So slide that back leg back just a little bit if you are able to, if you have the space. And then you're going to begin to come up onto the tops of your knees with your hands, raising your arms up above your head, palms are facing each other. And you're just going to allow your hips to sink towards the ground. Maybe you invite a small back bend. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale and bringing your hands to the inside of that front foot. And we're going to go into lizard pose. So maybe this is where your lizard pose is today. You can also take your forearms, both of them or just one of them, down onto the mat, or you can place it on a block if you have one today. Another option, if you have your, either if you have your forearms down or you don't, you can take that inside hand and push it into the inside of that front knee. So you're kind of pushing it out a little bit away from your body. Maybe you're looking back in between the arm and leg. So take whatever option suits you the best. Go ahead and come back onto your hands if you're not already. Sending that front leg to the back. Tucking your toes and pressing into your hands and your toes, bringing the knee off of the mat, sending the hips up and back. You're in downward dog again. Stepping that left foot up this time, and then you're going to step your right foot up. Take a bend to your knees until you can take your hands to the mat. And you're going to send that left leg back for your lunge and lower that knee down. The top of your foot should be down flat on the mat. And you're going to extend that front leg, straighten it out, stacking your hips over your knee in the back. And you're going to fold over that front leg. Go ahead and bend that front leg again, taking your time, sliding that back leg back just a little bit more. Again, if you want to roll the back of your mat up for knee support, please do so. And you're going to take your hands to the top of that knee and slowly bring your arms up above your head. The palms of your hands are facing each other. Maybe you invite a small back bend here as well. And then you're going to bring your hands down to the inside of that right foot. And we're going to go into our lizard pose. So maybe this is where you are today for your lizard pose. Maybe you would like to bring your forearms or just one forearm down to the mat. And you can also take that inside hand to the inside of that knee, pressing it out away from your body. And maybe you're looking in between your arm and leg behind you. Remember to use your breath to ease the tension you feel in your body through each pose. You're going to come back up onto your hands if you're not already. And you're going to send that right leg back to meet your left leg. Let's extend our knees out nice and wide, bringing your big toes together and sitting back towards the heels of your foot and extending your arms out in front of you, melting your forehead down in child's pose. You're gonna meet me back in tabletop, tucking your toes and find your way into your downward facing dog. So pressing into your hands and your toes, bringing your knees off the mat, hips go up and back. And from here, you can hop or step your way up so your feet are in between your hands. And you're gonna bend at your knees. Inhale and bring your arms up above your head as you stand up nice and tall. I love the unison. Glanced over, everybody was coming up and standing. Okay, so we're going to do a grounding technique while we're standing. So your palms are out wide in front, facing forward at your sides, and your feet are hip width apart. And you are going to lift up those toes. So your toes are lifted. And so when I reference the corners of your feet, I'm meaning the heels of your feet and the corners of your feet that touch your mat when your toes are lifted. So our toes should still be off the mat, pressing down evenly into all the corners of your feet. Some people say 3 corners, some people say 4. So I'll just say the corners. And slowly lower the toes down, slowly starting with the pinky toes. And you should feel nice and sturdy. So you're going to press downward with your feet and outwards. So imagine there is a piece of paper under your feet and you're trying to press down onto it and rip it in half. That's the motion we're using. So you're going to have a slight tiny micro bend in your knees as well. So your legs might feel like they're doing some sort of workout. It's because it is. So from here, you're gonna take your left hand to your belly button. Right hand can go over your heart. And I want you to just close your eyes for a second. Feeling the ground beneath your feet. Feeling the material of maybe your mat, or if you're on the floor, or if you're on your yoga towel or whatever you have today. Feel that under your feet. How we're still standing, how we're standing still and we're still moving within our bodies. You feeling your heartbeat, your body moving with your breath. That's what the world does all the time. It may appear that it's still, but it's has little energy bursts moving around all the time. So where your left hand is, I want you to imagine a vibrant color orange. And as you inhale, bring your breath up to the top of your chest. And as you exhale, bring that exhale down back to where your left hand is. Maybe as you breathe, the color that you sent down where your left hand is over your belly button moves with your breath as well. So maybe it comes up as you breathe in and it trickles down as you exhale. This is the color of our sacral chakra, where our creativity lies and our desires, our passion. Those things should always be moving, flowing, creating. Take one last deep breath. And as you exhale, take your hands back down to your sides. And as you inhale, you're going to bring a bend into your knees, sinking your hips down to the mat, or towards the mat, I should say. And keeping your shoulders stacked over your hips. So your torso should never hunch over. It should always stay stacked over your hips. So as you inhale, you're going to bend your knees. Maybe your arms come up in chair pose. You should still be able to see those first two toes on each of your feet. And as you exhale, push down into your feet again, allowing your legs to naturally straighten back up. And maybe your arms can stay where they are. Maybe they can come down to your sides as you exhale up. And we're going to inhale again, bending down. And exhale, lengthen. I'm going to do this 3 more times. So inhale, straighten, and I'll let you go with your own pace from here. So on your next exhale is when you move. Do that 2 more times. When you're finished, you're going to just come back to our mountain pose. And so This might be different for everybody because we're basically going to turn in the way that we can still see the camera, or see our screens. So I'm going to send my right leg back because I have to turn towards the camera. So maybe this is your left leg. So whatever leg comes back, you're going to face your toes so that they are facing the long edge of the mat. That makes sense. There we go. Looks like everybody's getting it. Okay. So your legs are wide. Your toes are facing the same direction. Should be facing the wide edge of your mat. And then you're going to take your toes and point them outward. All right. And then you're going to take your arms up above your head. And you're going to inhale as and sink down, meaning your knees are going to come to a bend. And you're going to keep your pelvis from kind of like tucking out too much. So you're kind of going to want to like tuck your butt down towards the ground. And your arms are going to come down into what I call cactus arms. And so from here, let's go ahead and inhale and straighten legs and arms. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. So there's 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bend. Inhale. One last time. Exhale, bend it on down. Maybe you sink a little bit lower than you were. Let's hold this pose here. Keeping your pelvic bone tucked down. Keeping your shoulders stacked over your hips so you're not hunching forward, you're not leaning back. Straight up. And let's go ahead and let that go. So legs straight. Take a deep breath. Arms can swing. We're gonna bring our feet in together. We're gonna do a little bit of a balance. So from here, let's go ahead and ground our left foot into the mat. So like we did earlier, we lifted our toes up and lowered them down slowly, making sure all corners of our feet are evenly placed on the mat. And you're going to take your right foot and come up onto those tippy toes. So the heel of your foot is off the mat. And you can take that right foot and send it to that left ankle. So this can be your tree pose for today. You can also bring that right foot, slide it up your calf, right under your knee. Or you can bring that right foot, put it into the inside of that thigh. So the trick is to find something that's not moving and pushing just as much into your foot as your foot is into your thigh. So your leg and your foot is kind of creating a seal, and you look at something that's not moving. Explore your options with your hands. Maybe you bring your hands up nice and tall. Maybe they're wide. Whatever you want your tree to look like today. And when you've had enough, you can let that go. Go ahead and shake that left leg out. Side comment. Some balancing poses, most balancing poses are not my favorite. So I teach them anyway because we need them the most. I need it the most, apparently. Um, so from here, we're gonna come back onto our left foot, and if you need to reground your foot, take the time to do so. And you're gonna slowly lift that right leg up. It can be bent, and you're gonna grab that right knee. And maybe from here, you reach down and you grab for that foot. Maybe this is where you are today. Maybe that right leg begins to extend. Maybe you send it out wide. So maybe if you can also take your right big toe to your first two fingers of your hand, if you want to go into the full extension, and you can come out wide on each side. So kind of play around with this pose. Find something that's not moving. Maybe you're looking at a painting or a piece of furniture, a shoe on the ground. And when you've had enough, you can let that go. I see some people over here flying. I'm here for it. I'm living through you. All right, so we're going to go into our other side, and let's go ahead and ground our right foot into the mat. And again, you want to lift your toes to get a little bit more sturdy. Take this time to do so. Taking your left toes and coming up to your tippy toes, bringing that left foot into your ankle, and starting to grow your tree if you like. So taking that left foot into the calf, or maybe you take it straight up and wedge it in between that thigh, right in that groin area. Always avoid the knee. And make sure you're pressing into your foot just as much as your foot is pressing into your thigh. And from here, figure out what you want to do with your arms. Maybe you take them tall, wide, keep them down. And each side is different. So maybe one side is a little bit easier to balance than the other. And when you've had enough, go ahead and let that go. All right, and from here, I'm going to come back onto that right foot. Maybe you want to shake it out a little bit. And you're going to, again, bring that left knee this time into your hand. Or maybe you can go straight with your left two fingers, first two fingers, and grab that big toe and send it out wide. So figure out where you want to take this today. Maybe you are just grabbing that knee, holding it in, and here you are. Either way, it's amazing. All right, I have this pop up on my phone. It's bothering me. ADD. All right. And whenever you've had enough, go ahead and release it. Shake out your feet. All right, and we're going to put it together on each side. So we're going to go ahead and start with our left since we've had time to let that rest. So from here, We're going to go into our tree. And the second pose was called extended hand to big toe pose. So we're going to put those two together. So come into your tree on your left foot being the grounding foot. And then you can take your first two fingers on your right hand, grabbing the big toe. Maybe place the left hand on your hip and take the leg out as far as you like. Taking your time. If you fall out of it, you can come right on back. And when you've had enough, go ahead and let that go. You guys look great. I'm not having a balance toast this today. Okay. So we're going to do it on the other side. And your right foot is the grounding foot. And we're going to take that left foot into your tree. And this time you use those left first two fingers, extending that leg out. And when you've had enough, go ahead and let that go. All right, so you can shake off that right foot. And let's come to, we can stay where you are, doesn't matter actually. Let's go ahead and extend those feet out hip distance apart. And then you're gonna heel toe it out one more time. And your toes are gonna be facing outward. And you're gonna take your hands to heart center. Begin to bend your knees, sinking your bottom down towards the mat. If you are not feeling comfortable kind of hovering here, you can have a block or a pillow for your butt. I just call Malasana. All right. Go ahead and extend your right arm out in front of your right leg. And you're going to take your left arm up and over. Bringing your hands back to heart center. Extending that left arm out this time. Bringing that right arm up and over. Taking your hands to heart center. And you can extend your arms out nice and, well, not wide, but extend them out in front of you. And slowly lower your butt down to the mat. Or find your way into a seat. And from here, let's go ahead and take that right leg. And you're going to hug it in close to your chest. So you're going to use your arms to kind of wrap your legs closer to you. Keeping your chest forward, keeping it nice and tall. This is called the baby cradle pose. Go ahead and extend that left leg, the leg that's still on the ground. Extend it out in front of you. And you're going to place that right foot, the foot that was hugged into your chest, to the inside of your left thigh. And you're going to take your hands to the outside of your, either side of your left leg, and begin to walk your hands up your leg until you feel a bend. Slowly walking your hands back up towards your body. You're going to take that right foot from the inside of your thigh and take it to the outside of your thigh now. So now your knee is up towards the ceiling. And you're going to take your left arm above your head, bending at your elbow. You're going to twist to your right, sending that left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And you're going to begin to twist your spine. Maybe you're looking over that right shoulder. You can also take that leg that's straightened and bend it so that the heel of that foot is reaching towards your right butt cheek. Slowly begin to untwist, straightening out that left leg again and straightening your right leg as well. And you're going to hug your left leg this time into your chest, wrapping your arms around your leg, keeping your chest nice and tall, and your spine as well is tall. If their right leg isn't straightened already in front of you, make sure it is now. You're going to take that left foot to the inside of your right thigh and take your hands to either side of your right leg and begin to walk your hands forward, folding over that right leg. So begin to walk your hands back towards your body, taking that left foot to the outside of that right thigh, taking that right arm up and over as you bend at the elbow, twisting your spine, looking over that left shoulder maybe. Slowly untwisting, taking your left leg, extending it straight out in front of you, taking your hands to either side of your legs and begin to fold over those legs. Using your breath to allow you to sink deeper into this pose. Slowly walking yourself up, or walking your hands up. My alarm's going off. Sorry. All right. Okay. And you're going to lengthen your spine. So making sure your spine is nice and tall. It's coming up, reaching up as high as it can. And we're going to fold again over our legs. So spine is tall, and you're going to fold over one more time. Maybe you can sink a little bit deeper this time into the stretch. And slowly walking yourself up. All right, and we're going to go on to our bellies. All right, from here, you're going to take your arms out and extend them in front of you. And then you're going to lift that left leg up into the air. Slowly lower it down. I'm going to lift the right leg up. Slowly lower that down. You're going to lift the left leg up again, this time lifting the right arm up as well. Slowly letting that go. And you're gonna do that on the other side. So right leg is up, left arm is up, using your opposite arms to keep you stable on the ground. And let that go. All right, and from here, we're going to try both arms and legs. So on my inhale count, we're going to take a deep inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to take off. So take a deep inhale through your nose and slowly begin to exhale deeply as you raise your arms and legs off of the mat. Continuing to breathe. Take another deep inhale and let that go. And go ahead and swing your arms behind you. You're going to grab your ankles with each hand. And we're going to push our feet into our hands. As we do that, our body will naturally start to kind of come up. So we're going to inhale down, and as we exhale, you're going to push your hands into your feet as much as you can, and you're going to begin to come up into bow pose. Okay, so inhale here, and exhale, push. Inhale, release. Exhale, push. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, release, let it go. And we're going to do this one more time. Inhale. Exhale, push. And let that go. All right, you're going to turn on to your back. All right, and from here, you can send that right leg straight up towards the ceiling. And you're going to grab as close to your ankle. But if you are at your calf, if you're at your thigh, that's where you are today, that's perfectly fine. Wherever you are, you're going to keep your leg as straight as possible while bringing it towards your body. With each breath, allow yourself to go a little deeper into the stretch. You want to bring a bend into that knee, taking your right hand on top of that right knee and extending it out, that leg out to the right side. Taking it through the center, your knee, and grabbing your knee with the now left hand and taking it over, crossing your body to the left side. Maybe your right arm comes out wide to keep you balanced. Maybe you're looking over to the right as your right leg is crossed over to the left. Taking that knee back to the center, hugging your knee into your chest, and let that leg go. Taking it back down to the mat, taking that left knee in towards the chest, and extending that leg straight. And you're going to maybe grab onto your thigh, grab onto your calf, and bringing that leg closer to your body. Taking a bend at that knee and extending it out wide to the left side. Taking that knee back to the center and pulling it over across your body to the right side using your right hand, and your left arm comes out wide. Maybe you're looking over your left shoulder. Taking the knee back to the center, hugging the knee into your chest, bringing the right knee up as well so that you can hug both knees into your chest. I invite you to bring a rock. Maybe you're rocking left and right. You can take the outsides of your feet into your hands. Your knees will start to come out wide towards the sides of your body. And you can bring your feet up towards the ceiling. so that you are in happy, baby. So the choice is yours. If you want to just keep hugging your knees in, it's fine as well. And slowly begin to bring the legs back down the mat. We're going to go back to where we started. Maybe your arms are out wide, taking up space. Going back to your breath. Imagining that red beam of light and that orange beam of light back to where they were. You can also take your hands to your belly button, one to your belly button and the other at the base of your torso, so that you know where to place your red beam of light and your orange light. With each deep breath, I want you to now start at the top of your head and work your way down to your feet, easing the tension away from your body if there is any left. Letting your eyelids be closed naturally. Removing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Your body is still, but it's still moving through your breath. Remember to remain present in the here and the now using your breath. We'll lay here for a few more moments and I will call you back when it's time. Begin wiggling your fingers and your toes, sending breath back to your body, deep breaths. Maybe you slowly blink your eyes open, slowly roll onto whatever side of your body you would like before you push yourself up back into a seat. Taking your hands out by your sides, inhaling them up above your head, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. I just want to repeat the quote that I said earlier, and it is that your body is the vehicle in which you take the journey through life and also the physical aspect of your temple. So, with that being said, make sure you always take care of your vehicle. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Namaste, everyone.